Hello everyone and welcome to Cover2TV. I'm Steve Hoare and I support the Green Bay Packers and my team lost last week.
I'm Chris Pajak and I support the Minnesota Vikings and my team lost last week.
I'm Tom Jennings, I support the New England Patriots and my team actually lost last week.
So welcome to a show full of losers. I think of the losses, losing on the road to Washington is probably the least upsetting. I think losing to the Lions is pretty bad.
I think losing at home to the Bills, what looked like you were going to get shut out and not having, well, 2 first downs I think it was in the first half, and not having to play in their half of the field at home until like 31 minutes into the ball game probably would suggest that mine was the worst loss last week, and it felt like it was a bad loss last week, to be honest with you.
When you see Josh Allen jumping over your players, it's kind of a metaphor.
Hurdling, you know, quarterback sneaking into the end zone.
Yeah, my team wasn't much better. My team couldn't catch a cold. Drops, penalties, my quarterback's on one leg. Do you know?
My team let a guy rush for 100 yards and no one for the Lions has done that since 2013.
So
excuse us while we're not in the best place for this podcast slash video today.
So week 4 can only get better. We hope anyway. And it can't get much worse.
It can't get worse unless we just don't score any points. But then we're playing the Rams, so you know we're likely to concede 34 points.
But at least it's not Josh Allen. And the Bills.
Yeah, okay.
Let's talk them storylines from week 4 then, Chris. We'll go to your first. What was your main takeaway from week 4? What you like to talk about?
It wasn't really well, I suppose it was a takeaway, and it's obviously thinking about the upcoming Rams. I wondered whether there's a better 3 coordinators, as it were, than Sean McVay, Phillips, and I've forgotten his name. Is it John Fassell, the special teams coordinator for the Rams? I just wondered whether they are the best 3 coordinators and one of the most stacked rosters in the league. Because I know that McVay is technically the head coach, but their offensive coordinator left to go to the Titans, didn't they? And now they've got 2 guys. One is a run game coordinator and one is a pass game coordinator.
But he calls the plays.
He's obviously calling the plays, and you know Wade Phillips has been doing this for 30 years, and Fassel just keeps on creating plays in special teams. I don't know whether anyone would suggest another tandem, as it were, that are better than that.
I mean, once upon a time I suggested the Patriots when they had, obviously McDaniels was probably one of the best offensive minds in football, and then Matt Patricia, but we don't have that anymore, and can't even think of what our special teams coordinator is, and we keep getting smacked all over the place by crappy teams, so it's not happening.
Yeah, I quite like the, I don't know, part of me thinks the Chiefs are good coaches, but then defensively they're still a bit of a mess.
But I suppose when you're talking points allowed, I think 4 of the 5 years of Bob Sutton being there, they've been in the top 10 for points allowed. You know, so although they are not the best, they've got 2 good coordinators.
They look quite well coached. I'm just not sure they're very talented, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I quite like the Bills. I think Matt Nagy's a good coach actually, and I think Vic Fangio, I've always said I think he's a really good.
No, Bears.
Sorry, the Bills. Yeah, I really think he's a very good defensive coordinator. I'm surprised. There must be some reason why he's not getting head coaching jobs, but I've always liked the Bears. I've always thought, even when they were rubbish, I've always thought Vic Fangio's defences were good. It was just John Fox was an idiot, and offensively they were a bit hamstrung.
Otherwise, I jotted a couple down. I think, you know, I have not jotted the special teams down for these, but Eagles, I know Peterson's the head coach, but you know what he did, and he lost the offensive coordinator last season, and Jim Schwartz is doing stuff with that defence as well. Obviously straight off the back of a Super Bowl win. And then the other guys I wrote down was the Chiefs, obviously the Pats, because Belichick is Belichick and McDaniels is McDaniels. But as far as all 3 go, I think the Rams probably win out there.
Yeah, well, the Rams like the opposite of the Chargers. They don't charge it, you know what I mean? Their special teams makes plays every week. I mean, scored the touchdown against the Chargers because Derwin James run out at the 1. Why run out at the 1? It still baffles me. Yeah, but I think the fact that it's not even like just the operate, it's consistent plays that their special teams makes, which is why I think you're right that they're the best coached team.
I thought the Bills have always been pretty well coached. I like Sean McDermott. I just think he's really hamstrung by the talent that they do or don't have.
He makes some silly decisions, like last season. He made some terrible decisions.
Playing Nathan Peterman twice. Yeah, that's not a great one. But yeah, I do think if you look across the board, there's a general dearth, I think, of coaching talent to an extent, and obviously good coordinators then become head coaches, and it seems like we're not really getting the back for. Like, I think Kyle Shanahan's a really good coach, like the 49ers, but then he was an amazing offensive coordinator, and then the Falcons replaced him with Steve Sarkisian, who I don't know if he's that good or not yet, you know what I mean? Because I do think...
He's had a couple of years now, and
I think Atlanta
hit the heights, have they?
I always thought Atlanta were pretty well coached, but then they've got a habit of losing games, close games, and that's, again, is that a talent issue, is that a coaching issue, I don't know. But I do agree, like, even my team, I like Mike Pettin, I think he's going to be decent, and I've always liked Mike McCarthy, and I know some people don't, but I've never once thought, like, oh, we are amazingly well coached. I've always thought Aaron Rodgers is coaching the offense and the defense has been a bit naff. Now it looks better under Mike Pettin, but I don't think it's anywhere near like where everyone would want it to be.
Yeah.
The Rams just look head and shoulders in every department. They look the best team, I think, by a long way. I think defensively, offensively, special teams, the plays they call, the game plans that they have each and every week.
It's for me, that offense, I mean, first of all, it's absolutely incredible. But secondly, they're playing pretty much every play out of the same formation. It's one running back, 2 tight ends, and a couple of wide receivers or something, isn't it? And you're like, and it looks different every single time. And you're like, I think there were 2 weeks ago they called 47 of 50 plays from the same personnel group.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And that's incredible what he's able to do, because you can't game plan when they get in that formation. You have no idea of what they're going to do out of that formation, because it's different every time.
I'm just checking mine as well, and I was thinking before that it's similar with the Chiefs at the minute, when I couldn't find the stat there, but they are wide open, and that's what the Rams like as well. They're just players, and that's how you tell. That's when you know it's a good scheme, because they're constantly confusing the defence. So Todd Gurley's in the backfield 1 minute, and then he's blocking on that play, and from the exact same formation, he's running a 50-yard route down the field as a running back, and he's catching wide open passes. And the Chiefs are kind of like that as well now, is that Travis Kelce's lined up and he looks like he's blocking, and he does block, but then he releases his block, and there's that little shovel pass. And it's so, and I think Andy Reid's an amazing offensive mind. I'm not sure he's a brilliant head coach, just because, again, the Chiefs, he's had issues with, and obviously it's the main one.
Just keep getting beaten in the playoffs.
Yeah,
with massive comebacks against you.
But I think offensive, like in terms of game plans and scheme, players should get that wide open in the NFL. And at the moment, there's Rams and the Chiefs are 2 teams, I think, who are, and there are players and there's nobody near them. And to out-coach the opposition by that much of a big of a margin, that just shows you're doing something right. Yeah,
I absolutely agree with that. Like, the Rams and the Chiefs, for me, are offensively certainly the best teams to watch. But note of caution, I think everybody said this probably already, it happens with the Chiefs, it happens with Andy Reid's systems, that what works in the first 5 games of the season doesn't necessarily work thereafter. But a little shout out to Wade Phillips though. I mean, probably a Hall of Famer as a defensive coordinator.
I think he's the best defensive coordinator there's been in the league for the last 20 years. I mean, everywhere he's went, this defense has been dominant. It's just, as a head coach, he could never quite...
No, he failed. He flopped big time, didn't he?
That's the thing with his defensive, and they've not always been top 5 defences, and he's taken over some crud defences over the years. Not a word I thought to say today, crud. Not a word that I've said in 15 years, actually. I don't know where that one came from, to be honest with you. But they always improve.
Yeah.
And even if he takes over the 26th, 28th, 29th ranked defence, they're in 10th, 11th by the time he's finished with them. And then we saw that Broncos defence a few years ago. I mean, that was totally dominant, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think Rob Marinelli's another one in that conversation, but again, I can't say Dallas are well coached, because I think Jason Garrett's a joke.
Yes, man.
Yeah, and
the
offense is just so stagnant and boring. So yeah, I think the Rams are by a mile, and it's they've probably got the best roster in the league. They've probably got the best coaching in the league. So for them, it's like, obviously Super Bowl or bust. That's where we're at now.
They're trying to win more than anyone else. That's the difference. They're actually going for the win. They're not thinking, what's the future, or what this day's going. No, we're going to get all our best players and we're going to go for the Super Bowl, because that's what it's about.
Yeah,
and winning breeds winning. We've seen that with the Patriots. You know, after a while, sometimes they've had the best, the best offense and all that type of stuff, and then they just keep winning because the coaches understand.
We've had some terrible teams that still went to the AFC Championship, because winning does breed winning.
And I think that you've got to remember with LA as well, they need that. They need to be winning by the time they get in that new stadium. They can't be like the St. Louis Rams, who are just a joke franchise. If you're paying that much money on that facility, and it's like £1 billion facility, you need a good team in it. And I mean, like Oakland are moving to Vegas soon, and as it stands, they look awful. And again, I don't know the people of Vegas and LA and stuff, but it seems like it would be hard, I think, for a team to come to your city and just be absolute dog shit, and then you to really get thoroughly behind them. And in LA, you'll get the people, but you'll also get the businesses and the brands, and then everyone will be wanting to be associated with the LA Rams because they're the star team with the star coach and the star players, and I think that's huge, and I think that's why they've gone big now. It might be by the time they get to LA, they might be on the downgrade, but they'll be like a top 5 franchise, so when they move in straight away, they're like the big shiny name in lights.
Yeah, and the thing about what will be the LA Raiders is that...
What, the Vegas Raiders?
Vegas Raiders, apologies.
The
thing with them is, there's not that many people that live there, so there's nothing to support a franchise anyway, so you need... People will go just because it's the NFL.
And it's Vegas.
And because you're going to Vegas, you're coming in from abroad, you'll take in a game while it's there. But what's key is what you've just mentioned, the businesses, the commercial side of things. They won't take people there if it's not a winning franchise, and they need to be careful for that.
Yeah, definitely, I agree, mate. If we move on then, you want to talk my story, and let's do my story of the week. This roughing the passer rule, this new roughing the passer rule, and I'm not just saying this because Clay Matthews keeps getting flagged for it. It's across the board. It's an absolute disgrace. And when coming into the season, I thought they talked about improving player safety and the helmet rule, and and I agree with that. I thought any defenseless receiver, blah blah blah, any shots to the head, I agree. Just ban it. Throw flags or jack people. That's fine. You can't be having people hitting the head. But they snuck in this rule of you can't put your full body weight on the quarterback, and I think it started when Aaron Rodgers broke his collarbone. Well, it did. I think that's kind of what forced it. But it's a farce. It's actually making the game not embarrassing. No, I said embarrassing to watch in that it's no longer a case where rules should be to protect the players and to make the game fair. And at the minute, everyone hates that rule. And even the other day, William Hayes from the Dolphins has torn his ACL because he goes to tackle Derek Carr, realises he can't throw his weight on him, so he kind of leans to the side, and as he leans to the side, his knee gets stuck in the ground, and his ACL's popped and he's done for the season. Clay Matthews got done for it against your team, against the Vikings, and he got done for it against Alex Smith the other day. And they weren't fouls and they weren't dangerous.
Well, he spoke to Alex Smith after the game and said, "Was there anything else I could do there?" And I don't know what Alex Smith said, but my guess would be no. But the interesting thing about that one with Clay Matthews on Smith is that they radioed it in, didn't they, to the rules, and the NFL have said no, that's fine, because all or some of his body weight went onto the quarterback. All or some is a very, very different kettle of fish to all of his body weight. Because some of your body weight, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to just push him over?
That's the thing.
Do you want me to get a fella and get them to crouch down behind? And then me to come up and push him over? I mean, what's that about?
I do know.
I'm at a point, Jenno, where I don't know. As a defender, and you're running 4.4, 4.5 speeds, 4.6 in Clay Matthews, maybe 4.80 if it's slow now. But what do you do? And I know if it was like, for example, the one against the Bears was a late hit and he deserved to be flagged. The Vikings one was a disgrace, and there was a flip side. I think Kendricks got done on Rodgers, and it was a bad call. And then obviously Alex Smith gets it the other day, and I just think, well, I'm all for protecting quarterbacks. I think the game needs quarterbacks, and I understand that. But there's a line where it just becomes farcical, and it becomes flag football, and it will get to a point where quarterbacks are almost like kickers and punters, where you just can't touch them. And that is just so much to the detriment of the game that if all your supporters and all your fans of your sport think a rule's a bad rule, then it's a bad rule. That's where I'm at with it.
The problem is the refs are doubling down on this rule. Yeah. When it was a terrible call on Clay Matthews for the sack that caused the interception, they didn't go, "Oh yeah, that was a bad call, we speak to the ref." They went, "Oh no, we're just going to teach everyone this." Double down on a bad rule. Because there's nothing defensive players can do. If you hit a quarterback there and you take him down, I get the driving him to the ground. You need to cut that out because they were dirty plays. Basically, they were using an excuse to just hit the quarterback at any excuse and try and injure him. I get that. We saw, do you remember the Favre game with the Saints where they literally were just trying to knock him out the game? I get that, take away all those dirty plays, but the ones that we've seen with Clay Matthews, what we just saw to the Dolphins player, shows that it's impossible. You need to put some of your weight on him. You're taking the guy to the ground. Compared to Smith, where Smith still had the ball, he was still sacking him with the ball. It wasn't even as the ball had gone. But the problem I think as well, the flip side of this, is players need to stop saying the game's getting too soft. Getting too soft, that argument will get you nowhere.
Yeah.
Because we're just going to come back and go, no, we're making it safer. What you need to say is, look, this is actually more dangerous to do this. Players are getting injured, we're having knees blown out because of how bad this rule is. You need to readdress it, rethink it, and we've got to be allowed to land with some of our body weight as long as we don't drive, as long as we don't lift our legs up and smash them down. That's more what I think will make a more sensible rule.
No, I completely agree with everything that Jeno said. I think there was the flip side of this and what it caused. Do you remember between the Vikings and the Packers, one of your linemen didn't sack our quarterback?
Yeah.
Now, that was a bizarre play, but I actually think that was because of that rule as well. And he went in and grabbed him and went, okay, sounds, and Cousins just went, he's not sacked me. And then we ended up going down the field a bit, and you're thinking to yourself, that's weird as well. But I had a point there that I was trying to drive towards. It's completely gone on me, but carry on discussing it, and I'll come back on.
It's just, we're at a point, Jeno, and my feeling, and I'll say, is that the rule's a joke. I'm all for this. When Aaron Rodgers broke his collarbone, that wasn't a dirty play, so you didn't need to change the rule for that play. It was I don't think he drove him to the ground, for example. He never pile drived them. He just landed on him. And it's a physical game, and injuries are going to happen. It's a shame, and I agree. If you go out of quarterback and you lift him in the air and you throw him to the floor, by all means,
yeah,
get rid of that. Get rid of that. But you can't. We're at a point where I don't know. It's almost making pass rushes an irrelevance, and you need like.
And it follows on perfectly from this. My point is, in 15 years' time, what are we going to see? Are we ever going to hear the mantra, defences win championships again? Because that's the way that it's genuinely going. So what does that mean? Let's just think about that outside the box a little bit. If you've got the best quarterback, you're going to win. That's all it means. Or if you've got the best offence, you're going to win.
Is that any different than now, though, to be fair?
There is. Broncos. Well, Broncos were still able to do it, you know what I mean? But I think we're not too far away from that.
Jacksonville getting Jacksonville's on it.
You know, we might not ever see that again, because it's just going to be the best quarterback who's never going to be hurt, who's never going to be touched, who's never going to be rushed, because there's no point throwing the ball down the field.
I think what you'll see then instead is you'll see better cornerback play. I think it's. I know what you're saying.
Who wants to be a corner? Who wants to be a lineman, a defensive lineman, when the game is so heavily weighted against you?
Oh, well, be a corner because they're mainly the most elite. So if you're in college, you're a corner, you're more likely to get drafted and you're more likely to play in the NFL and make some money. So it's just a bit of advice. But no, I see what you mean, but I think you just see a transition between what players can do, and I think you just see a lot more coverage players. But I don't want that. I want to see quarterbacks getting sacked. I don't want to see a case of when you look at someone like Big Ben who's difficult to take down as it is, people not having that ability whatsoever because they're all scared to touch him. Because even if you slightly try and push Ben, you're not going to push him over, are you? He's a big lump. So there's that other problems as well, and it's going to go through the league. The really just need to look at it and go, alright, we need to change this again.
You can land. I think you can land on top of him as long as you get off him straight. You can't lay on him. You can't. Once you're on the floor, get off. Don't jump all over him and think you're.
I think also as well when when the ball's gone and you're tackling him outside the tackle box as well, because I think the one on Rodgers, he was way outside the tackle box and he then leaned. He didn't have to. Then he could have actually landed anywhere he wanted. But if you're sacking someone through the pocket, there's nowhere else you can go. There's bodies all around you. Whereas if you're in space, you can actually avoid that.
It looks like we might get to a point, Chris, where it becomes like kickers and punters, where if the ball isn't in his hand, you can't touch him, and that'd be a shame.
It's bullshit though, because you see it now. This one-step rule or whatever it is, and I've seen them called last week and the week before, where there's just no way that they can stop their forward momentum. Because what you're asking a guy to do sometimes is a big 6'6" guy has got to get past another big 6'6" guy to get to the quarterback. So how can he use everything, every tactic, every hand fighting technique, every weight of his gram of weight in his body to get past another guy to then stop to grab the quarterback and put him in a little hug? It's just not going to happen. He has to keep that forward motion because he needs that forward motion to get past the lineman.
It's crazy, man. I think we're all in agreement.
And why is just the quarterback protected?
Yeah.
Why?
Because why do we let I've seen do barrel rolls and snap people's ankles because they're allowed to do it?
Yeah. I'm with you, mate. It's bizarre. We're at a point, and I think we'd all agree with that rule is absolutely rubbish.
We saw someone's career get ended the other day. Was it Vance McDonald for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Stiff arming someone. I mean, his career's over. It's not an injury, but it's completely over.
Chris Conte's kids are in the stands watching that. Like I said, he has to go.
Dad.
I was going to say he has to go home and tell his kids like to go to bed, and they're like, Vance McDonald's right, Dad, you know. Yeah.
Let me call Big Vance.
Yeah,
Vance's just taking iPhones out of his kids. You're never getting social media again. Thank goodness Vine's gone, because his life would be a living hell at this point.
That was quite one of the more embarrassing things I've ever seen.
Cracking stiff arm.
Getting stiff armed up by a tight end who runs 60 yards. You never. You know what I mean? Julio Jones done it in the playoffs to the Packers secondary and just like threw them on the floor. It's like, yeah, been there, lived it.
Well, we did something similar actually, the Vikings, except we decided to not employ any defenders when they had a tight end. No, we don't want to be embarrassed here, so no one go near him. You get open, sunshine.
Covering for losers, yeah, covering for losers. The fact, the Vikings decided not to play defence. Maybe it's the new rules.
It was missed tackles. I mean, it just. I don't know what's happened to our day. It's just decided to go, we don't need to play football anymore. We were the #1 defence last season. No, you need to work harder.
They'll come round. Jenna, what's your story of the week?
So my story of the week is play your rookie QBs. I mean, I don't know about you, I was watching the Jets-Browns game and the place just lit up when Baker Mayfield started. And he lit the show up. He was absolutely amazing. He was hitting throw after throw after throw. I was speaking about how you said when I described my Pip Cooper, you were like, that's Baker Mayfield, and I was like, nah, don't want to be Baker Mayfield, don't like him. And then I watched him and he's incredible. And it just showed that Browns, why were you sticking with Tyrod Taylor? Why? He was offering you absolutely nothing. The Bills couldn't wait to get rid of him because he's not good enough. And you housed him in your franchise by continuing to play Tyrod Taylor. Yeah, it took a concussion for him to come out. Was it a concussion?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it took for that. And then you're looking over to the Cardinals. Sam Bradford, someone who you rated a little bit higher than I always thought he was garbage.
Yeah, it's been garbage.
The Rams couldn't wait to get rid of him. The Eagles couldn't wait to get rid of him. The Vikings got rid of him. And then the Cardinals are starting him over the guy who was the most pro-ready in Josh Rosen. So then you threw him in with the hardest part of the NFL in a 4-minute drill down, and he ends up throwing an interception. Not too bad about that. Let the guy learn on the job. They need to learn how fast the game is. We've seen with people like Goff how his first season he was god awful, but then that second, third season he's had that bedding in period already. Unless you have someone like an Alex Smith, there's just no reason to sit them. Just let them go and play. And then that brings us to the next one, which is Josh Allen for the Bills. None of us give them a chance, did we? And Josh Allen absolutely ran the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
He ran over the show.
He ran it and jumped over it. Yeah, it's pirouetted it. Like Drew Brees spin move here, by the way.
That was
obscene. That might be as embarrassing as getting stiff arm, getting spin move by Drew Brees. But yeah, Chris, I suppose
it was the fact that he did it so slowly. That's what called them out. You see?
It was
like Mayfield's world's slowest step over in football. It's so difficult to stop because you just don't expect it to happen that slowly.
It was a slow motion spin. I suppose, like say what Geno says, is that if you know the guy in front is not good, or he's a bit, why not start the rookie? I suppose if the rookies are ready, and by all accounts Mayfield and Rosen were ready, and Allen, they must have been ready because they're ready after 3 weeks, so they must have been close to, because they haven't been getting first team reps anyway. So you know what I mean, if they were getting loads and loads and loads of reps and then got through in, but they haven't, they've kind of been thrown in.
I think this,
the flip side, I suppose, is that Pat Mahomes might be the best quarterback we've ever seen. And then, but he sat behind, like I said, he sat behind Alex Smith in a winning team.
Yeah, and that's what good franchises do. And I think Geno's point is probably more weighted towards if you're shit.
If you're shit,
give the rookie a
chance.
Let
the rookie have a chance to be shit, and then when you're ready to be good, he should be good by then.
Yeah. I'll play devil's advocate.
The Jets have done that.
I'll play devil's advocate because I do agree with you. But you can kill someone's confidence off, and you can kill them off, and we've seen examples of that over the years. That's devil's advocate. I agree with you. I think that's the right way to do it. But I think the main crux of the issue, when you boil it back, is it's the collective bargaining agreement. That's what it all comes down to. If they had more time to train with these rookie quarterbacks in the off season, more rookie quarterbacks would start. But a coordinator, a head coach, needs to trust his players, and if the guy doesn't pick up the the playbook as quickly as you want, then there's a lot on the line for them.
Yeah.
Now, that's why I think people are rolling the dice on this a little bit, where they're going, well, this guy, you know, he might not know our playbook, but he's experienced in the NFL, so he knows how fast the game is, and he'll pick up the playbook. And that's maybe why you see someone like a Tyrod Taylor come in, because he's proved that he can pick up a playbook before.
Yeah.
Now, you know,
but he hasn't proved he can actually pass the ball before.
I know, but that's the head coach's decision to make.
Yeah.
So it's dead easy to sit there and say this is what you've got to do, but you've never done it, and you've never had a job where you're going to get sacked if this is
no,
not
but my
going to happen.
counter-argument is the problem with is actually it's not the collective bargaining, it's head coaches are too conservative. I think head coaches are too conservative. If your playbook's too difficult for a QB to learn, then shorten it. You can only teach them more.
Coaches are doing now.
Yeah,
the old guard aren't doing that.
Hugh Jackson is not that, and I just hate Hugh Jackson as well. But I'm saying
he isn't in your coaching rankings. Hugh, he's very close to the bottom.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that I think it's too that conservative thing. Oh, I just need a wily veteran because my system will beat everyone. No, talent will beat teams. It's ultimately players that beat teams. It's not systems. It's talented QBs. That's what you need. So if you've drafted a QB, you need to see is he good enough. And trying to retread someone who keeps getting bombed out of everywhere else for not being good enough, what help is it doing in the long term?
Well, I'll give you an example of where a good scheme and good coaching has won. And that's last season with the Eagles, mate. Because he changed the playbook to suit the backup quarterback. And he goes and wins the Super Bowl with it. And this is that new breed of coach that I'm talking about, who are willing to change for the person's talent and what they're good at. And that's ultimately where it comes down to. If you're not willing to change, if you're that dinosaur, then you're always going to fail regardless of who you've got. I
hate the phrase his offense is quarterback friendly. It's like, if your offense isn't quarterback friendly, you've got a bad offense.
Yeah.
If it's quarterback tough, or, you know, quarterback difficult, or unfriendly.
And Gruden's known for that, isn't he? These 14, 15 syllable play calls and all that type of stuff.
No, don't do it. That I'm with you on that. I think I've always said if you're rubbish, throw them in. Yeah. And unless you think they're going to get killed behind like a terrible line, so the David Carr rule where Houston just killed them. But that's very, very rarely that happens anymore.
Houston was an expansive franchise.
No, I agree.
They had that absolute terrible team whatsoever. But like I was actually speaking to someone on Twitter at the time who was a Browns fan, and he was going, "Why would you throw Baker Mayfield in this line? He's going to get killed." I'm like, because he's not. Because he's better than what Tyrod Taylor is, and he'll throw the ball.
And he might never.
That's what he's doing.
All offensive lines are crap.
Yeah.
Even the best ones are pretty rubbish now.
That is something because the collective bargaining agreement. Now they're all crap.
Yeah. Even the good lines aren't that great because defensive linemen are just too athletic. And I agree. There's no CBA. We'll move on then from our topics. Why we're idiots? Let's talk about that. Why we're idiots this week. Anyone want to be the first idiot?
Yeah, definitely.
Why are you an idiot, Chris?
Well, because I thought this season was going to be different from a Vikings point of view, and it's not
different.
Well, it's not. The pain's still the same, and that's what was always pain as a Vikings fan. So in many ways, it's different, but they're the same, and it's hurts more because there was hope, and when hope's dashed out, the pain is more. I really thought we were going to absolutely twat the Bills.
Yeah.
And what happened
so was... Vegas 17-point favourites.
Yeah, what happened was they basically just ran a dick up fucking Jim's ass and said, how do you like that?
And he went, is it 27-0 already?
Yeah. he actually said that, didn't he, on the sideline? Oh crap, it's 27-0. I think every team has one or two of these stinker games, like absolute stinkers a season. And maybe that's just yours. I wouldn't be that worried.
Well, I thought our stinker was having a crap kicker. And then I mentioned that week, I'm like, we've got Dan Bailey now. We've actually improved after the second game of the season. Things are going to be so much different for these Minnesota Vikings now.
I just wonder if they've took their eye off the ball with the Rams coming on the horizon. I think it might be one of those. I wouldn't be that worried. But what I would say is that
the only solace I had last week was the Hughes was shit as well, Steve.
Yeah, the Packers didn't play, they were sloppy. I'm not as worried about Green Bay because the things that they did wrong were dropping the ball and silly penalties, and that's quite easy to stop. It wasn't like last season when the quarterback couldn't play and those people wide open in the secondary. Alex Smith got Paul Richardson free, but it wasn't like I never thought they were killing us. It was just the Green Bay mistake. So, Randall Cobb dropping 2 passes, fumbling the ball, Lance Hendricks drops a catch I could catch, silly penalties, that kind of thing. So I'm with you.
But this is a Bills team that conceded 78 points through the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, they did.
And we couldn't score until the fourth quarter, mate.
I think I hope for your sake. I don't think you're an idiot for that.
I'm an absolute idiot.
I don't think you're an idiot for believing in the Vikings. I think the Vikings are still a good team. I think you're an idiot for having hope.
Well, alright, I'm an idiot for having hope, and I'm an idiot because I had probably the worst week in Pickham anyone's ever had.
You did, I'm going to get to that later. But Pickham was a disgrace this week. But I'll go second on why I'm an idiot, and I'm an idiot because I consider myself, I like college football, I watch a lot of it, and I usually think, you know what, I consider I've got a decent eye for the quarterback especially, so I thought Darnold and Mayfield, Allen, I said they were all going to be good. Last season I was iffy on some of them but not much. I was terribly down on Patrick Mahomes. I was thinking he's not an NFL quarterback, he's too reckless. He's got a big massive cannon arm and that's it. He's like a crap Matthew Stafford, I think I said. And I really crap Matthew Stafford, and Matthew Stafford's been a bit rubbish this year.
He wasn't last week.
He wasn't last week, no, he wasn't. But 4 games into it, I think he's played 4 games, 1 last season and 3 this season. It's clear, I was clearly wrong. Pat Mahomes can play. He's got the best arm I've ever seen.
He's the first ballot Hall of Famer, clearly.
He's got the best arm I've ever seen, genuinely. I mean, I thought he was inaccurate in college, and he's dropping dimes, and it's hard to be inaccurate when you can throw the ball so hard because it gets there so fast. It's like, oh yeah, I'll catch that.
And then they take 5 yards after the catch while they're catching the ball, shot like a cannon back.
And I thought, is he going to be? I'm not sure if you pressure him how he's going to cope. He just runs around like in circles, and just gets away.
Runs, doesn't even set his feet, and just throws it again as hard as anyone's ever threw.
So yeah, I have been superly impressed by Pat Mahomes, and again, the offense is well designed. And I mean, I had Deshaun Kaiser ranked ahead of him in my ratings, so I'm going to go back and look at those ratings and see what it is wrong, because 2 years ago that was a poor call. I've seen Deshaun Kaiser in action. He's not very good. So yeah, why I'm an idiot? I said Pat Mahomes was going to be a flop in the NFL, and I was completely wrong, it seems. Do you know why you're an idiot?
I'm an idiot because I actually said on this show that the Patriots would give the Lions a shellacking, and within the first quarter I was like, oh, that's all it took for me to go. Matt Patricia knows how bad our defense is. He knows that they can't cover and he can't stop the run.
It's an issue.
Big issue, and then the fact that we
pretty much defense.
Yeah, we suit up 3 wide receivers and one of them's called out Patterson. Basically means that we got no one to throw the ball to except Gronk. And he knew that and absolutely smashed us all over the place.
I was going to say, that's the one concern I would have as a Patriots fan. I mean, who knows what Josh Gordon's going to be? He could be amazing, he could be just a flop.
It's 2 weeks now though that people have schemed Gronkowski.
And that was what I was about to say. My next point was, I never thought anyone could scheme Gronk out of a game. Like, it'd be impossible to scheme Gronk out of a game. And now
it can when it's just him.
Yeah, well, yeah, Jacksonville. I thought, well, you know what, Jacksonville had a really good defense, so you can kind of understand that. The Lions schemed Gronk out of the game, and that would be a huge worry. Basically, what they're saying is, anyone else, we'll go one-on-one. We'll take one-on-one Chris Hogan. I'm quite happy to for Cordell Patterson or Philip Dorsett, but if we have to, we'll triple team Gronk.
They're putting their main wide receivers on our running backs because we just got no one to throw it to, and no one understood that more than Matt Patricia. And I can't remember when Josh McDaniels was actually head coach, he also twatted us. So I should have saw this coming because not everyone's Bill O'Brien, who's always nice to us and lets us win quite comfortably.
He's got a huge deal, hasn't he, Bill O'Brien?
He just extended it recently.
And got his own GM.
He got his own. Yeah. The Patriots. I think the Patriots.
So well.
I think the Patriots need Josh Gordon to be good.
Yeah. They need Julian Edelman.
And Edelman's going to come back and hope that he's the same. Because he's your third down player, isn't he? Really, he's
the thing that makes it go. He's the quick out route. He's the thing that puts Tom Brady in.
But I still think you could
get the through pass separation.
I still think I would be confident as a defensive coordinator to scheme Edelman out of the game. I would. I don't think he's going to.
Scheming Edelman out of the game's okay if you've not got a scheme Gronk out of the game.
You can't scheme both of them. Maybe you can. We'll be fine out. Someone might be able to. But then if Josh Gordon's there as well, I still think you need that wide receiver threat as well to completely do it. And I think if Gordon's I think New England they could easily win. Could they got the best quarterback ever? They're going to be fine. But I would worry as not a Pats fan was that how taking Gronk away just completely nullified. And I didn't think you could take Gronk away. And I thought, well, even if you do, Tom Brady's that good. He could play with us three as wide receivers and be fine. And it turns out he can't. Even he can't do that.
He could if we actually had 3 wide receivers playing. We don't. We have 2, and it's very easy to stop 2. And we have Sonny Michel, who was drafted in the first round. Not look very good.
Yeah.
Does look absolutely garbage. I mean, we
got better or worse than Treadwell?
Oh, no one's as bad as Treadwell. Like no one.
Yeah, that was a bad pick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it seems.
I mean, just drop it like it's hot.
It's been for over a year now.
It's been a while. No,
yeah, but Cousins still throws it too.
Yeah, which I don't disagree with, but he's going to learn pretty quickly not to throw it over there, really. Like I do always agree with just throwing to the open man and trusting him and trying to play him into form, but it's not playing himself into form anytime soon.
It's the opposite of the Tom Brady method. If you
it makes you feel better.
Passes to that, mate, get out. I don't want you.
The Packers drafted the cornerback and now he's on the Browns. First round. So everyone makes mistakes. But seemingly our teams do it more than others. So yeah, so that's why we're all idiots anyway. Chris got hope in the Vikings. I thought Pat Mahomes was a bust, and Geno backed the Patriots to be good against an old Patriots coach, which very rarely happens unless you're playing against Bill O'Brien, who seemingly rolls over for Bill every time he can. Let's move on to Pickham then. So Pickham last week was a disaster because there were so many upsets. We had 17-point underdogs. We had the Patriots losing on the road to the Lions. We had all kinds going on. It was absolutely. I'm just looking at some of the results. I mean,
I think I got 70.
So yeah, not great. I think the Titans beating the Jags.
I was fuming that because that was one I had and then bottled it.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I mean, I picked the Buccaneers to beat the Steelers.
So did I.
Having said that, it was bad for me. It was worse for Chris.
Yes.
Chris.
Am I going to have to do the?
Yes.
Okay.
It's time for the Pickham.
Right. I've not really put any thought into this, so I'm just going to go with
Nice. It's Pickham show.
Okay.
For those new to the show, the form it is, whoever did worse in the week before has to do the Pickham show dance. So far so good for me. I haven't yet had to do the Pickham show dance. This week might be the Pickham show dance. I'm not feeling confident.
When we do eventually get this as a podcast, the Pickham dance is not going to be great for our listeners, is it? Maybe you might have heard a light footstep or two there.
I'll commentate on the. I'll commentate on. Chris is now stepping onto the floor. Strictly come dancing commentary. Let's go then. Very quickly, Thursday night football. We'll gloss over it slightly, Chris. Vikings Rams. Yeah, I've got the Rams as well. So now we can get into the main game. Started on Sunday. 2-1 Bengals are travelling to the 1-2 Atlanta Falcons, Chris.
Atlanta Falcons.
At home.
I've won Falcons.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, I picked the Bengals last week and they let me down. So once
the Bengals have a... They're
still 2-1. I'll be honest, the Falcons defence is hanging by a thread.
Like, I think the offense has really come together.
Yeah, the defence is so injured.
That Calvin Ridley though,
3 touchdowns.
He's incredible.
I think I maintain that I was right on his one, in that he's not a great number 1, but he's a very, very good number 2. And I think I'm still sticking by that.
We'll see on that one.
When they trade Julio to the Patriots next week, and then Calvin Ridley, we'll see how that one goes. This one's a game that before the season you'd looked at the slate of games, Geno, and said, give that one a miss. But Bucks at Bears actually look like a quite good game at the moment. Who's you thinking there?
I'm going to go Bears. I think the Fitz magic. It's going to be fun, but I think Khalil Mack's going to just take over.
Chris?
I think I agree with Geno. I think Khalil Mack is so damn good. Isn't he? And he's not the only one on that Bears defence either who's way above average. It's just whether Trubisky can do something.
Anything
at all.
Just a little bit.
I'm going to go Bucks just because I think the offence. I think the offence can still score 30, and I don't know if the Bears can yet. By the way, Khalil Mack's ridiculous. He's actually terrifying. He takes the ball off players out their hands. It's unbelievable. But I am not a Trubisky believer yet.
I am not a Trubisky.
And I think the Bucks. They might
coming round to not being a Trubisky believer.
The Bucks do what they
certainly now on the fence, whereas it wasn't a couple of weeks
like
ago.
They did to the Steelers. They could easily put 20 yards up, throw 4 picks, throw 400 yards, and I'm just not sure the Bears offense quite got that in them yet. Chris, the Lions 1-2 travel to Dallas to play the 1-2 Cowboys in what looks like a quite dull game, if I'm honest. I'm not sure about either of these teams.
No, they're both pretty shit. I'm going to err on the side of the home team then, Dallas Cowboys.
I'm going to go against them. I had the Cowboys to win this game, but the offense has just looked that bad and that vanilla. And then obviously the Lions just smashed us, so I'm going to See, maybe this is the making of Matt Patricia, and I'm going to go Lions.
I don't know. I've picked Lions and we pick them for now, and I'll stick with it just because I've got no faith.
Yeah.
But the Dallas defense is actually quite good. I think it could be really good. But the offense is just boring me at the minute. There's nothing going on. It's like.
Do we need to talk about how bad Dak Prescott's been? Yeah.
He's been bad, and I think the Lions bad. He's got no weapons.
Yeah.
So, but I'm with you. I don't think Dak's played well at all. And it should be a little bit of a worry. They just need to just keep feeding Zeke as often as they can and hope for the Tavon Austin's getting NFL snaps. It's absolutely insane. Okay, the 2-1 Minnesota Viking conquering Buffalo Bills travel to Green Bay to face the 1-1 Green Bay Packers.
Well, what's going on with Aaron Rodgers? Like he's going to be playing as long as he can stand up, isn't he? Because
he's fine.
Aaron Rodgers standing up is still better than your backup.
Oh, I mean,
Aaron Rodgers stand up is better than
most teams playing.
Quarterbacks in the league.
He's playing well. He's not an issue.
What's the quarterback situation like at the moment?
Ours, we've just signed Rashard Beeland off the street, which I think is not the worst signing. They lost House to IR, which is addition by subtraction because he's terrible. So yeah, Kevin King's hit and miss in terms of fitness. He missed the last game, but
the Bills will still be missing Shady.
He's probably not going to play, and Vontae Davis quit. He left at half-time, so he definitely isn't going to play.
Okay, I'm going to go Green Bay then.
Yeah, I think it's.
I think last week was an aberration. I think Green Bay.
Yeah, obviously I picked on the Packers, but
I like Josh Allen to hurdle all your players as well.
Our players are really big.
I still like him to do it.
He still manages it.
If you could duck down for him, that would be
we did. Yeah, we're amazing. Yeah, bend over for him, literally in every sense of the word. I know the Packers won 1-1, and they've obviously a loss and a tie. I'm actually quite enthusiastic by what I've seen, provided Rodgers' knee holds up. I think they're actually going to be quite good.
I worry for him. I worry for Rodgers because there's nothing. He's said himself, hasn't he, that it's not getting better.
It's a spray.
It's
a spray, and basically just doesn't practice all week and then just trots out on Sunday. That's all it is. And then he rehabs all week and then he trots out, which is fine.
But if he gets hit...
Oh yeah, then he's knackered. But then, like you say, I'm not going to sit out because it's not going to get better. It's like weeks. So I might as well just play and see how it goes. Because we've got no chance to win without me anyway, so I might as well see what I can do. The 0-3 Texans, one of the more disappointing franchises this season. I thought there was some expectation.
What's a good game last week though, didn't he?
He did. And
was it 3 sacks?
Yeah. And he travels to Indianapolis to take on the Colts.
The Colts, you've got to be worried about the Colts, haven't you? The way that last game ended. I mean... was it Brissett they brought in for the fucking Hail Mary and stuff, but even before that, Luck wasn't trying to get down the field very far, was he?
3 or 4 or something he was throwing
he's
and I think his average per depth of reception is about 3 or 4 yards.
In that game it was 4 yards per reception. It's
6 on the season, is it something
yeah,
like
he's clearly he's dinking and dunking. He obviously doesn't trust the arm. Having said that, the Texans, their offensive line stop them. They can't win with that. Yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to win. I just don't understand. It's so bad.
I can't believe this. I think saying this a year ago, but from what I've seen so far, I think the Colts defensive line is going to win this game, and that sounds mad.
It does. I'm going to go Colts as well at home. I just don't trust the Texans.
Yeah, I'll go Colts too.
Which is crazy. The 1-2 Jets go to the 2-1 Jacksonville Jaguars. Chris.
Jaguars. I don't know what happened last week.
Titans just own them. There's certain teams who just match up well. The Falcons are, I say it all the time, the Falcons just own the Packers at the moment. We just cannot stop them. There are certain teams who just beat you all the time, and the Titans, for whatever reason, just own the Jaguars.
I think it's because the Titans got a decent enough defence and can just do enough on offence, whereas Patriots have a terrible defence, and maybe they bought us like Aaron Rodgers.
They did.
I was so high on balls after that game, and I was so low again. But
I've gone Jags.
Yeah,
I've gone Jags.
The Patriots host the Dolphins. The 3-0 Dolphins looking to go 4. If the Dolphins go 4-0 and you lose this game, how worried are you?
I still think we'll be.
So the Patriots
I still think we'd win the division.
So you think you turn around 1-3 from 4-0?
I don't believe in
with the one of the tiebreakers going their way.
I still don't believe in the Dolphins. I mean, look at the 3 teams they beat. It's the Raiders, was it the Jets
and the Titans.
You know what I mean? It was one of them was like the hottest game ever.
The longest game ever, yeah.
It was just, I don't believe in them, to be honest with you.
So you're picking the Patriots, I presume, at home? Chris?
I want to say the Dolphins.
Say the Dolphins, Chris. Please say the Dolphins.
I am going to say that the New England Patriots win this game because for the same reasons, I'm not all in on the Dolphins yet. They have impressed me though. And
they've got a good defence.
And should they knock off the Patriots, A, I'd be really, really happy. And B, I might start believing in them. But
that's Xavier Howard though. I do believe in him. The cornerback's brilliant. He was talking about how when he stole Devontae Parker's soul in training camp, and I was just doing it to all the other wide receivers in the league.
And I love Minkah Fitzpatrick. I'm going to go Patriots because I'm going to keep picking them, I think. But I think a 3-game deficit after 4 games, I think that would be. I do think that's significant. I think basically what you're saying.
They don't need to be great to win out. Not win out, sorry, but win the division.
No, then they
could just be average and win the division, and the Patriots have to be.
The most the Patriots could do then is get to 13-3, and that would be winning every game, which I don't think they can do. I wouldn't be that concerned, but I think a 3-game lead is.
I still think that we can win the AFC with 11-5, even if they win.
That's true, yeah, I agree. I think you're right there. Those Titans that we just spoke about, who, strangely, Chris, had Marcus Mariota as their backup, and then he come on and played because Blaine Gabbert got injured, so he was fit enough to be backup, he wasn't fit. I don't understand that.
Because he can't grab the ball or hold it off, that's why.
But he still played, but then he still played and won.
Oh yeah, so I get it, because he physically can't hand the ball off properly, that's why, so a turnover waiting to happen. But then, you can't go with their options, fuck it, just put them in.
They host the Super Bowl champion Eagles, both 2-1 Titans.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with Wentz coming back, to be honest, and I think I'm going to go for the Eagles on that one.
I've got Eagles as well.
He's not where he was before his injury and stuff, but it comes back to what we were talking about earlier on the show, mate. It's good coaching and they've got good players. And I think the streets ahead of the Titans.
Yeah, Eagles, mate.
Eagles.
The Seahawks travelled to Arizona. Josh Rosen's first start as a Cardinal. Do you know?
I'm going Josh Rosen win.
Right. Did you see it, Chris?
I don't know on this one because the Seahawks are so fucking shit.
They are, yeah. They are bad. But so are the Cardinals.
But so are the Cardinals, exactly. It's just Russell Wilson just doesn't have anything on offense that he can hang his hat on, and therefore I will go that you get a lift from having the new quarterback, and it might not last long, but it might last 1 game, and therefore the Cardinals win.
No, I'll go Seattle, I think. I don't trust the Cardinals line either, but we'll see how Josh Rosen gets on behind it. He's a statue, just hinted. The Browns travel to Oakland to take on the Raiders, and I do not know who I want to pick. I think these are both pretty bad teams, but we've got the Baker Mayfield love in.
I'm all about the Baker Mayfield loving.
So you're going to... Are the Raiders really going to go out and 4 with their 10-year contract coach?
I think, you know what, the Cleveland defence is good, and therefore they'll win.
I've picked Oakland, and I'm not happy at all.
Well, that's like the Browns too. 2-1-1.
Yeah. If they win, yeah.
What a start for them. Yeah. I don't know whether they'll all still be pissed from last week, won't they, really? But no, I think, you know, Baker Mayfield and that defence should have enough for the Raiders.
I think you're right. I might change my mind on that. I'm going to stay Oakland for now, and then we'll see. The Chargers, let's talk Jimmy Garoppolo, which is unfortunate because the first major quarterback injury of the season, like big one, and Jimmy G's tore his knee up. What I would say is that I don't blame players when they get injured. It was a really stupid play. He got injured on.
Step out of bounds.
He needs to learn to protect himself more, and hopefully that comes with you taking that step back inside. You are begging to be hit because any defender's going to go. Eyes are going to light up. And listen, it wasn't a bad hit. It was an awkward landing. I understand it. Just step out. So their season's over. You think CJ Beathard? I've seen enough to say probably not.
You know what? Sorry, Jano. It's fucking stupid. He sat long enough watching Tom Brady to know better than to do that in that situation. It would actually worry me that he hasn't learned that from Tom Brady.
I'm all for being competitive, and listen, I've seen players jump in, and at times there's a time and a place where you need those extra yards. When you're on the sideline in that situation, I don't think you need to.
I mean, he's talking about Tom Brady. The minute anyone touches Tom Brady, he just collapses, make sure he protects the ball and protects himself. There's Peyton Manning used to do it all the time. That's what you should do as a QB. Don't risk unnecessary contact.
Don't risk your knees.
Know your value. And he clearly didn't.
Yeah.
I would actually, if I was them, I'd be trying to trade for Teddy Bridgewater tomorrow. Yeah. I would be going for.
See what the Saints want to give you. Yeah, there's a chance. They're in LA to play the Chargers, who I thought looked okay against the Rams, but they were just outdone. They just got too much for them at times. So I'm picking the Chargers because I just can't see a backup quarterback.
I'm going Chargers.
But it's a shame, really. I'm a big Garoppolo fan, but I agree, it was a really poor decision making and nothing else.
It will tell you what the San Francisco 49ers are doing if they don't do something like that, because they're essentially, they could be in a decent position next season for getting some high picks, and they could build on that, but you never know what's coming back from those type of injuries. I personally would be thinking, we've got to get something out of this season. We've got to get something out of this season.
Yeah, we'll see if they do anything before Sunday or next week even. The Saints, who needed overtime to beat the Falcons, so the Saints just keep getting in shootout. Well, keep getting in close games, I should say, not always shootouts. But they travel to face New York, who 1-2 now, and
when's Ingram back?
4 games, is it?
Yeah. So next week
after this.
I've gone Saints just because I think the Giants are rubbish. But again, I'm not that confident, I'll be honest, because I don't think the Saints defense at any. It's of units that have fallen down. Has anyone fallen more than the Saints defense from where they were last? No, I think the Saints is worse. I think they've been really bad. And Atlanta's a good team. They tore them up. The Browns got a lot of yardage on them. They just Tyrod Taylor kept fucking up, and then the Bucks, obviously the greatest show on earth, took them to school as well. But I'm gonna go Saints, I think, away.
Yeah, I'll back the Saints on this. I just think Kamara's just a matchup nightmare, and you know he's probably averaging, I don't know the stats on this, he's probably averaging about 150 yards from scrimmage every game at the moment, and he's getting free. And then you've got Breeze having 3 touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns and stuff like that.
Michael Thomas is amazing.
Michael Thomas is one of the best receivers in the league that still doesn't get talked about every single week, and he should be, because he catches the ball 95% of the fucking time. I mean, it's incredible.
He's 48 to 50 on the season, I think, isn't he?
Something like that, yeah.
It's outrageous.
And like, it's not even like he gets like 13 targets a game as well. Like it
is outrageous.
And no one seems to be able to stop him.
I think
he's got a very simple name. His name's just not.
Probably.
His name's just not exciting. Not
Everyone,
Michael
like
Thomas.
Adam Thielen's brilliant, and he's got great hands, and this guy's, catching ball. I think he's incredible.
Yeah. So I've been again the Giants.
Top 3 quarterback, top 3 running back, top 3 wide receiver.
Yeah, possibly.
For the Saints. That's some fucking thing.
I'm not sure what the top 3 wide receiver. I'm not sure he's that good.
I think Thomas is that good.
Beckham, Jones. I still think Beckham, Jones, Brown. I think, but I think he's top. I think he's up there.
If I was just going this season alone,
then
I'd go Brown and him and Evans.
Evans has been really good, yeah.
Just this season.
I think. I mean, Andrew B is amazing. So yeah, it's been moving all. The Steelers 1-1. They needed that win that they got on Monday night, and they got it just about got it in the end. They hosted 2-1 Ravens in what's always we love these games because we one of our favourite. We've always said we are going back a while now. This is our favourite like non-Packers or Vikings game is always Steelers Ravens.
Why everyone finishes 9-12
because we like defense,
but it's such a good.
And they hate each other.
At Steelers.
It's in Pittsburgh, yeah, which is always a different. I've gone Ravens on the road. I do not trust. Still don't trust. I don't think Ben's played well at all. I think the Ravens defense is playing well, and it's just a feeling. I've gone for the Ravens on the road.
I only watched the first half of the game against the Bucks the other night, and my feelings from that first half, where there's something really festering between Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown. Now, I might be wrong because the second half might have gone slightly differently. I think that's going to bring the Steelers down at some point. And me and Geno spoke about their problems last week and how I think they're actually one of the worst coached teams in football at the moment.
Yeah. The defense is bad.
I would pick the Ravens definitely if they were at home, and I think I'll still pick the Ravens even though they're away.
I'm going Steelers at all.
Yep. Again, I think it's a really close one, but I'm with you. And then late on Monday, the Kansas City Chiefs, complete with MVP, gold jacket, Pat Mahomes, go to Denver, 2-1 Denver Broncos.
Yeah, Kansas City.
I don't think the Denver secondary is playing well, and that would concern me because that's what they've been built on for a while. Pass rush is always going to be there because Von Miller's there, and as long as he's there, you're fine. I think the Chiefs might actually give them a bit of a shellacking.
Yeah, I'm going Chiefs.
Shellacking?
I'm not using that word again because it was so wrong.
Yeah, so there's some differences there. Like I said, let us know if you guys are playing Pick'em as well. By all means, let us know how you're getting on in the comments section below. And if you want to tell us why you're idiots for being NFL fans, well, please do that. Chris, pleasure. Good luck in your bye week. No. What? Vikings.
No. Thursday ball.
Sorry. Good luck for tonight's game that already happened by the time some of these people are watching it. Tomorrow's game. Geno, I don't care, I hope you lose. Yeah, the Packers, just beat the Bills, please. And I hope your team wins, unless you're a Buffalo fan as well, or a New England fan. We'll be back next week with some more Cover2TV. Until then, I'll see you all soon. Ta-da.